All right, we are in the port of Honolulu in Hawaii right now on Carnival Panorama. We're just coming up towards the end of our Trans-Pacific from Singapore. So we're going to take you around the port area, how you get into the main downtown part. And we're going to show you a lot about Diamond Head because we went up Diamond Head on a hike, if that's what you wish to do. Now, this was day 2 of 2. The day before we had to clear customs, and this was a zoo. But this day it was fairly empty, so we were able to breeze right through. But if you are clearing customs here, beware. Right there will be a lot of customs people, and it will take you a while, so allow extra time for that. Not that you would normally be clearing customs coming through Honolulu, because you'd normally be like on the 14-day one they do from Los Angeles or now San Francisco on something like the Radiance or whatever. So you wouldn't have to worry. But this is when we're getting out the port, and they have a large taxi and shuttle area, so it gives you note on where to go for which. And this is where you'll also pick up your shore excursions. Right there you saw the people standing there. About here you'll see, and it's very well signed where you have to go for what. So you can walk across here. We're going to go out of the port. We're actually going to walk into town. I'm not going to show you too much, it would take too long, but you get the gist of where the port is, nice and clean and easy. And like I said, there's signs everywhere, you can see them there on where to go for what. Beautiful day, as you can see. So we were in for 2 days. This was day 2, like I said. The first day we walked around downtown, and this day we did Diamond Head. So you can see the ship there. See friends and family pickup was right there. A little bit more detail for you. So now we're going to walk out the port. Here we are at the edge, walking down towards the end of this road, and you're going to take a right to go into downtown, and there's also a bus stop not very far down. So here we are at the corner. And this road will take you, if you follow this road, it will take you all the way into downtown. So just a little bit further up, there's a bus stop right here. Now there can be a lot of people there. On day 1 there were a lot more people on day 2. But there's a big line. But the buses will pick you up from here. Much cheaper than getting a taxi or etc. etc. Any other form of transport into town. Several different buses, so make sure you get the one that takes you to the right place where you want to go. And like I said, you're just going to keep following down this road. There goes one of the trolleys. They have a lot of sightseeing trolley tours. We're looking back towards where the bus stop was. Now, not very far down, they had like a food market. They had a lot of little food trucks. We stopped here and enjoyed some food. Maybe half a mile, probably not even. And then right opposite that, we'll show you in a second, was an area where you could do a lot of excursions and tours and stuff, private tours. Well, not private, but public tours. Yeah, but in here there was a lot of food trucks. There's some really cool food of all sorts, not just Hawaiian. And then just past there, so you'll see there's the food truck area just over there. So we're literally 2-minute walk. You have all these little areas here where you can go on boat tours, snorkeling tours, fishing tours, you name it, they were here for you to book. So like I said, about half a mile from the ship, if you don't want to pay the exorbitant prices that cruise lines charge to do their tours, he said, facetiously but truthfully. Just come down here. I mean, we were here super early, so a lot of it wasn't open yet. But fairly busy down here, as you can see. And once again, just panning back to show you where we are. Now, if you walk down a little bit further, there's a big mall. This is probably about a 20-minute walk. And then keep going further down. We are now heading into the downtown area. These are some of the buses, the tour buses that you can get. There's one. Here comes another. So just have a look and see. They do different routes. So you pick the one that's best for you, and here is a regular bus. 3 for 1, showing you everything right there. So we'll just show you a few little videos of the downtown area. This is a good turning point, the Hilton Hawaiian Village. If you come walk down to here and take a right, that will take you right into downtown. Another regular bus there. Lots and lots of shops and touristy areas. They are very expensive, I will warn you. Right behind us here there was a Hard Rock. So I got my friend Jerry a t-shirt as we continue walking into town. I would say, and here's some of the beach areas we saw. We're not in true downtown yet, we're just on the edge of it. But I would say half an hour walk in total to get to downtown. Maybe a little bit longer. And then here you had the a military museum right there. It was right behind the beach we just showed you. Hotels galore. Here's the beach, the main beach area. This is right in downtown Hawaii. So the beach wasn't too crazy busy, but this was also early November. Some of the famous buildings you have there, hotels rather, not buildings. So this is the heart of downtown. We're right by Duke's, etc., etc. You probably heard of. Here we are inside looking at Duke's itself, the restaurant. But overpriced, but great food, but very expensive. I remember this hotel is called the Outrigger. We actually stayed here a few years ago, and it was very expensive. We ended up going across the street to the ABC and getting beers and putting them in our coffee cups in the hotel room and taking it to the beach, pretending we were just drinking coffee all day. But as you can see, beautiful beaches all along. Sometimes it's a bit of a hike to get to them because you've got to walk between buildings, but they are there. There's a couple of breweries downtown as well. So plenty of shopping and tourist stuff to do down here, beaches and everything. But again, be warned of the cost. It is a tourist area and it can be quite expensive. The cheesecake factories, everything like that. Now we are at Diamond Head. So what we did is we took an Uber from the port to, actually we took it from where they did those excursions I showed you. We picked up the Uber from there for the boats, and this is where they will drop you off. Now you do have to make reservations in advance to hike Diamond Head. Don't just show up and think you can do it. You have to go on the website and make a reservation. But you'll be dropped off here if you have an Uber, etc. There is parking if you have your own car, but you're going to walk through this tunnel and you'll come out the other end. I will say it's not as hard as I was expecting it to be. It's not by any means easy. There's Julie with her hiking sticks, but you don't have to be super fit to do this. It's certainly not the toughest trail I have ever done by any means, not as hard as we were expecting. So you'll come out the tunnel here and keep walking. But I do recommend it. You get some amazing views from up top, which you'll see in a moment. But you're just going to keep walking down here, probably maybe a 10-minute walk. This is where the buses, the tourist buses, will stop and drop you off. Right there. Then you'll come in the entrance here and you'll show them your appointment. Again, advanced reservations only. Do not show up and expect just to come in. Well, there's no guarantee. You could try, and if it's not sold out, you could get in, but there's a very high probability if you walk in that you may not be able to go up. So definitely make reservations in advance. And then here we are at the start of the trail. And it's a very simple trail. There's not much to it. One way down. But when it gets busy, it can be a bit of a bottleneck, as they say. But this is the beginning. Now there were a lot of steps, as you'll see, that were a little bit challenging, so not the easiest if you're bringing like a buggy. Or certainly don't do this here. Anything on wheels would be my recommendation. But there's plenty of handrails you can hold on to coming up. But here, as you can see, you're going up and they're coming down at the same time, and it's not that wide. So you will have to deal with that quite a bit. But this is basically how the trail is, especially at the bottom part. And as you get further up, there's some large steps, which is, I wouldn't call it a shortcut, but you've got 2 ways to go. So if you don't want to go up those steps, you can keep going more along this sort of route. But there are a couple of levels. You can see where we are looking down at the entrance from there. Couple of, well, there's quite a lot of photo stops on the way. The best one obviously is at the top, which you will see shortly. I would say it took about 45 minutes to get up and about 35 minutes to get down, but you will come across steps like this, so just be warned. And you do have to go through this tunnel. Low overhead clearance. And there's the steps. This idiot was running the whole way up, and I mean that, idiot. His body ain't running anywhere. This is the tunnel you go through, and then you come out the tunnel. Now you can either go up those steps, which are very steep, high steps, and that'll pretty much take you to the top, or you can do the loop trail, which is recommended because it's much easier and more sights. So we went this way, and we came back down those steps at the end. More photo opportunities. This is looking away from downtown. So there's still some steps, but by no means like the ones I just showed you. So we're really concentrating on this video on the downtown area and then Diamond Head, but there's so much else you can do. We came here before one time. We went to the North Shore. We saw the pipes, the pipeline with all the snorkeling and everything. So there's the pineapple plantation. There's so many things you can do in Hawaii. But like I said, we're concentrating here on the downtown and Diamond Head. I do recommend getting some Dole whipped pineapple ice cream. It is, if you like pineapples, you will like it. If you don't like pineapples, don't get it. And I mean the ones to eat. Well, I mean the ones to taste. Oh God. So yep, some overviews of explaining of what you're looking at on the way up. And then we are getting towards the top now. More steps. There are quite a lot of steps. But again, I say the whole thing takes about 45 minutes to get up. There is the top. There is the peak. With some amazing views from up there. There's the ocean. Beautiful as always. We're almost there. And there we are at the top. That's the view you get of the downtown area of Honolulu. But again, so hopefully this is a somewhat helpful video for you. Look at what it is downtown. But there are so many other places you can go in Hawaii. We just didn't have time. I do recommend, if you get the chance, to do both. Do the downtown, do this, and then go explore the island. The Dole pineapple plantation is great. The North Shore is great. Plenty of great snorkeling and everything all around up there. But have some fun. Enjoy Hawaii. And of course, there are other islands to try as well. There you go. A look at Honolulu, downtown, and Diamond Head. Finished! Well, thanks for watching. Don't forget, subscribe, hit that bell, and you'll get notifications when new videos come out. And don't forget, Click on the links to the left and right of me. You can watch playlists, new video suggestions, and more. Any questions? Email me, cruisingsuitguy@gmail.com. And don't forget, I'm a travel agent. Email for help.